Welcome to the Mind of Mir with two-time UFC heavyweight champion Frank Mir, Las Vegas headliner Mike Hammer, and joining us today, Jennifer Mir.
All right, guys. Admittedly, I'm a little late. I wanted to start this a little bit closer to the first of the year. But hey, no time like the present. And also looking to make sure that my show is always improving, always getting better. I'm trying to make sure that as a martial artist, I did that my whole career. Even post-career, I'm continuing to do so with my podcast. So now I'm bringing on a good friend of mine whose intellect I greatly impress, Mike Hammer.
Hello, everybody. Hey.
Yeah, we talked about this. It's going to be a big staple of the show. We're actually going to put your name up there somewhere, written up there in the Mind of Mir.
Eventually. Somewhere.
And we got such great response, we were talking about before the show, keeping the wife on. Mrs. Mir, actually, I didn't look like it was such a crazy idea on my part. Everybody was criticizing me until they listened to us, and you do a good job, babe.
You guys are great. In fact, can I ask you a question? Because I have a question for the Miss Mir. So my question is, Frank, you're always on high alert, basically. Every time you're out, you won't sit with your back facing the room. You have to sit against the wall. You're like constantly, you got your 12 knives on you in secret locations. And my question is to you, Jennifer, is he ever not on high alert, like in private?
No, he even has the, what's the material called in the showers?
No.
What's the material called?
Graphite.
Graphite. In the showers, he has the graphite knives.
So
they don't rust.
In the showers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You never know. Someone might,
It's constant. Like our bed, sometimes. Okay, we just had this conversation, actually, because I'm looking at our room, and it's like, babe, it looks like a bedroom / artillery. I don't know.
It's a fort. It's a fort.
Yeah, he has like hanging off of like the beautiful bedpost, like knives, and he's got guns everywhere, and like in the corner, and it's like, I mean,
don't tell the people where the guns are.
Well, a lot of that has to do with because what I'm wearing, where I'm going, how I'm dressing will decide sometimes the different way I pack my gear on me. Sometimes I can carry a larger weapon, sometimes I can't. Sometimes I'm going to an area where I'm not allowed to have a gun, and and I got to figure out a way to get one in there.
So wait a minute, but okay,
it's not
I get
romantic.
No,
though. I mean, it's like, am I going to sleep or am I going to war? I get confused when I go to bed.
Battle. This is for fun.
So, but I get that he has the stuff around him, but what about his mind frame? Is he always? He seems like he's always ready to navigate some kind of retaliation.
Always. The interview that Bella did after her fight, she said it best. She's like, my dad's just like on another level. Like he listens to podcasts while he's sleeping, and they're not like, I'm listening to like rain and waterfall, like, putting me to sleep. He's listening to philosophy,
Machiavellian and dark triad.
Yes, it's like he never stops. He never turns it off. It doesn't.
But how do you live like that?
How
does that drive you nuts? Not just you, but you. It's natural for you. You don't get
actually
your
contrary.
System?
To the contrary, this last year, being less physically capable, and at times sitting there going, man, I feel like that opening scene where, like in Hard to Kill with Steven Seagal, where he's trying to use the broomstick and people coming after him, like, that shit ain't real, dude. Sorry. Like, you're really, like, I'm really at a deficit here. I'm having a difficult time with this, that I don't feel that if right now some guy dressed up like a UPS guy and faked his way into my house and my wife screams, how fast can I jump up and go into action, So it screws with my head being not capable, of being able to be in that frame of mind at all times. It actually depressed the shit out of me.
Yeah, that's what's actually made me sad the last year, especially with all of his injuries. It never was this bad. I mean, he always carried guns and knives, but he had his physical ability always to fall back on, and now that he feels that was like completely taken from him, it's like almost put him in like a straight panic mode. So now he's like, I mean, you said 12 knives. I'm like, no, 12 knives was like before the injuries. I'm like, now it's like, I don't even know. It's so much,
I'm starting to
so
come out of it
overkill.
now. I feel better.
Yeah.
Just even the fact I can shadow box now and move around and hit the bob in the back and strikes and stuff. Like, I'm starting to like realize I'm not such a deficit as I thought I was.
But for example, and so I'm quick on my feet, like in my show. I'm always like, I'm on. And but in show mode, and I don't even recollect sometimes what happened after the show because I'm improvising quite a bit, and my mind just takes over, and I just react basically. And if you ask me afterward what happened, I might not remember every detail. You know, a lot of it I forget, but that's at the show, or if I go out in a social setting, I'm on because I feel like, I've got to perform, you know? And so like when we went out the other night, you know, and so but that's why I don't go out as much anymore because my brain, it takes a toll on my mind. That's what I'm asking you. You don't get tired or you just naturally think this way all the time?
Yeah, I guess just from the being slightly... I think naturally I was born a little paranoid. You know, some people are just
a little paranoid.
Well, you know, I read something the other day. It's funny because it's kind of a joke I have. All the kids have seen it. My wife's seen it. I have a really bad startle reflex where I can't turn it off, and it's kind of embarrassing at times. You trust me. You'll do it to me once. She'll come around the corner, and I know it's my wife. I'm in my home. I can see her. And even my brain was quick enough to assess I'm looking at my wife. But because she goes, "Hey, Frank," also, I start doing that shit. I jump around. I can't help it. I'm like, just like, God, I hate that. You know, I do it all the time. I
You didn't always have that though.
Hold on, did you?
You didn't always have that. Like it's since your injuries, like
was it worse? You think?
It's so much worse.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, didn't you tell me a story once? Wasn't Jennifer? You told me this one time because I'm like, you ever like snap at the wrong time? You said she was poking you once in bed or something. She's like poking at you.
Oh, why we don't play fight?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't like to play fight either.
We normally don't. At one time, it was like in the middle of we were being adults.
Kitchen.
Kids weren't home. It was just us. So we were in the kitchen and we weren't dressed after making love and stuff. We were being like how it's going to be post kids in the home. And
we were practicing.
So my wife does this thing with all her sisters where she pokes them in the butt and stuff. And I don't like being touched there at all. I just don't, you know what I mean? And so my wife poked me there. And it's like a joke that we have. And sure enough, she poked me there. And I said, stop. So I turned around and I like tried to get her. And then she went to go for it again. I grabbed her hands. And then she pulled her hands away from me and was like going to be funny, like the slap bappy. Well, because my brain couldn't react, I went like... blocked and through, and then as I'm throwing my shot, oh my God, I'm trying to stop, and I'm like grabbing her, and that's why we don't play fight. She even apologized to me before.
Wait, what do you mean you blocked and threw? You threw hands?
Yeah, catch a shot and throw.
I was like,
so that's that's your instinct.
Yeah, because
it's like if
she
I touch
swung in my face really fast.
Yeah.
I couldn't help it. Like we were within distance.
Even like when we first got together, I remember you were at the gym training and. I was just messing around and I didn't throw it. I remember. I didn't, it was so, I was like kind of just tapping to be funny and he checked it with his shin. Well, his shin is like a freaking cement, like 4x4. So
here's the thing.
It like knocked me back. It hurt so bad.
I told her, if I know you're there and I can look at you, I can disarm myself. I can sit there and be a normal human being.
Sure.
But she did it out of the corner of my eye. All of a sudden I see a kick coming at my leg and I just lifted, I couldn't help it. My leg lifted up. I mean, I've done it only 1,000,000 times. If I see something coming towards my groin, my knee lifts up and I block with my shin. You know what I mean? Like, so my brain thought that, and I'm like, you can't do things. Don't surprise me. If I know it's coming, I can relax and be normal and not like a freak. But if you catch me off guard, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to go to my reactions.
And it actually works out too, because I don't like play fighting. You know, a lot of couples, they like play fight and they like tag each other and like hit each other with pillows. I don't like that either.
I don't even do that with my friends. I'm not really into, the old grab ass.
Well, Frank did something else though. We're on that private plane with Chris. Chris Angel gets this private plane. Yeah, Frank almost killed me. So we're going to see a fight nonetheless. We're going to see Anthony Pettis' fight, right? Yeah. And so
your fitness level actually impressed me. I was telling people because I think it was Greg and a couple of the guys were messing with you. And for your age, even not for your age. I mean, hell, if you were 25, you're a fit guy. On top of that, you're 57, 58?
Yeah, something around there.
Yeah, something around there.
If anybody's watching, yeah.
Your fitness level is actually quite impressive. And I was like, hey, man, if you wanted to get into this, I could actually teach you. You could be pretty good at this.
Well, what happened, I don't know if it's a good idea with you. What happened was I'm screwing around with the other guys, Jake Ellenberger, these other fighters are there, Jake Ellenberger and all that. And I'm going to try, put a chokehold on them. I'm trying to choke them, see how long they could take before they tap, that kind of thing. Well, Frank doesn't play that game, apparently.
No.
And so I go,
doesn't.
go ahead, Frank. You could try to choke me out. I think they were goading it on, actually. They said something to Frank.
If I remember correctly, I thought you were saying that I couldn't do it. Like, if you could slap the choke, I can withstand this. Because I said that nobody can last longer than 3 seconds. If I put a choke on full blast.
And I said, I think I could last longer than 3 seconds.
I'm like, well, I mean, if you make it to 5, I'll call that impressive.
Okay, fine. So he puts me
It's
in
not
it.
going to be 5.
He puts me in it, but I start to tap.
Because you tapped at 1. I'm like, if we're going through all this bullshit, we're gonna do this. You know what I mean? Like, that's my thing. If someone, warning to people at home, if you convince me and I have to fight, we're fighting. You're not getting out of it. You know what I mean? Like,
But that's not what he told me later. He said later, I started gurgling, actually. I wasn't passing out. I was gurgling like that. And then Chris yells, Frank, let go. He tapped. And Frank goes, I didn't even feel the tap. He goes, he goes, stop tapping like a bitch. And he goes, tap. Like, he goes, I got to feel the tap.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, Frank's arms are so big. Like, he doesn't feel.
Were you like, just
no,
I don't
you know what
know.
it
I
was
thought
later on looking at it? It was his cadence. It was that's how he taps.
What was it?
But so
was like a
were you
panic
thinking?
tap?
Yeah, I don't know what I thought it was. I
okay.
thought it was just you doing like the fish.
I was trying to hold out. But anyway, so I
No, like a tap is.
You didn't like the tap. Okay, so he didn't like the type of tap.
Because I think you told me you felt like
My
he
brain didn't
wasn't-
identify it. And then also too, okay, truth be told, I wasn't going off with the tap. It's a choke. It was going to put you, like, let you enjoy what it feels like to go to sleep.
But I wasn't going to sleep. It just,
that's the truth.
But I wasn't going to
actually.
sleep. It just hurt. Like, it just was pain.
Frank-
I think you caught me in a weird spot. Like,
Well, no, it was because people kept saying to stop and wouldn't let me finish. I'm like, hey, just let this happen. You know what I mean? Because then, like, because I let you go and then re-put you on, let you go and put you on. It was like, just let me
Frank,
finish it.
you are like that. Like, if you're like a horrible brother, I bet you, because he is that type. Like, if Frank's.
Well, now it's a challenge.
No, I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, and listen, Frank. He is like peaceful, gentle giant. He does not ever go looking. No, he doesn't. He doesn't ever go looking for anything. He just wants to be in his own little zen spot in the house, and he doesn't want to be bothered. But if you bother him, if you challenge him, if you make him get up, if you make him, he's like, he gets like a little brat kind of, and he's like, oh, really? Watch this. Like, and he's like,
But
drives
that's
Don't
part
let
of
the
the
sleeping giants.
But that's part of there you go. But that is also part of your family's nature. It's about competition. Then that's what it is. I mean, you've instilled it in your children as well.
Oh.
And yeah, but that's
Our
where it
whole
comes
household
from.
is
And
like
you guys wouldn't have made it to your levels if you didn't have that. I'm actually very competitive too, not in that way clearly, but I was playing. We were playing game night one night. It was the guys versus the girls, and I was pissed off because the girls were like, there was something that they were winning on a technicality, and I'm like calling them out, and the other guys that are complete pussies, they're like, shut up, calm down, Mike, and I'm like, no, they're cheating, and I'm like calling them out. I'm like, because I'm not gonna lose, right? I didn't care if it was to women or guys. I still want to lose, and I'm like, no, you can't let them get away with it because that's not the rules. I'm yelling, it's not the rules.
Stop being a beta.
Yeah, and these guys, and the guys were against me, and the girls are against me. I'm like, this is the worst. So I got so angry.
Well, there's two ways to look at that. If the guys were married to the women,
Yeah, they were.
Okay, so now here's the thing. Actually, they were being intelligent. This is something I've had to learn in my life. Sometimes it's better just to go ahead and just back off. There's certain arguments I look at with my wife, and I like we'll be going, and I'm like, I could prove I'm right now, and I'm going to be wrong. And no, and I've said I'm learning now to go. It just isn't worth it. I'm like, I would rather just go ahead and keep the peace. Because my nature is very much like, no, that's not right. Let me explain to you. And then you're going to reiterate to me right back why I'm right and explain to me you fully understand the concept.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not just accepting an apology to quit us from fighting. Like that's not, diabolical in that way. I'm learning to sit there and go, this isn't worth the fight. It isn't. It's just not worth it. I can see where this is going, and if I win, I'm going to lose.
Right.
So, like, it's like, okay, how does that really matter in the big picture of stuff? Is it going to affect us? No, not really. This is only on the merit of well, I'm right. Who gives a shit? I'll let that go. Now, if they were dating the girls or they wanted to date the girls, then they were being little pussies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they were being pussies.
I think that's just being together for a long time. You choose your battles. The longer you're together, you're just like, I could do this, but then you like play.
I'm
you're
slow
like,
to
but
that
then it's
game.
going to lead this and this and this and this. I'm like, forget it. So what you were going to say though about the kids at our house, competitiveness. So we do family game night, right? The grandkids come over.
I can't even hang out there. I go in the bedroom. I
So
leave.
listen, this is crazy.
Oh, for real?
Yes, I leave.
So my granddaughter is 7, and right now she's like she's the Uno queen at our house. She's 7 years old, and she beats me, Cage, Ronan, Braden, my 13-year-old grandson. They don't care that she's 7. Poor Kim, my daughter-in-law, her mom, like has to like protect her and defend her. But Ronan's like, it's not fair. We don't care that she's 7. She's cheating. She's always winning. But like, it's serious. Sunday game night serious.
But what about what's the one? I have to leave the room on that one too.
Oh, when the kids do Monopoly.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ.
And they play it until it ends. It can be 4 a.m. Frank and I are laying in bed listening to
go
that.
blows.
That's me.
People
I
are
have
crying.
to win every
my
home,
gosh.
every hotel.
Yes.
We play game night the next morning at breakfast. They don't talk to each other. I know that it's like, I'm like, okay, so what happened? Can we like, there's like about 3 different things we have to like fix now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, all right, the will's been written and rewritten about 4 times after last night's game night.
Just to give our listeners a little bit of insight here, I thought your game night would be very different because, so Frank taught his family that if there's an intruder in the home, you guys are going to gather up like hunters.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You're going to
Everyone has a position.
How did you explain it?
Right.
Yeah. How did you explain
what it
it?
is that my home, I know my home. I don't sit and wait for you. So my kids know, because they all have firearms in their home, their bedroom. So we have code words and whatnot. And basically, I go and I collect them. My wife knows the firearm I give her. She actually holds my belt from behind and she walks at my 6, walks backwards, and we go and we systematically go collect the kids. And every time I collect one, they arm up. There's my flank on my right. There's the flank on my left. You know what I mean? And going through, actually, my left comes first because my weak, but vice versa. And we collect the children and then we go looking for the perpetrator.
This is a thing.
Now,
this gets practice.
No, I get it. And when you first told me, I'm thinking that's insane. But then afterward, I thought it's actually kind of smart because you don't want, first of all, even in you've got enough family members in your home, you don't want to get hit in a crossfire. You could have that happen. You could
Absolutely.
have
Over-penetration on a weapon is something to be considered.
But it's such a weird mind frame that intellectually it makes sense. But for most people to think of this, there's so many people out there that couldn't even imagine having a gun in their house.
Oh, I know.
Let
People
alone
say that to us.
this.
Yeah.
But you know what? Now let me ask you something.
It's a black swan event, completely. I admit.
Yeah.
The chances of my house being robbed, slow, minimal at best. You know, most likely it'll
hopes,
never
though.
happen.
He hopes it
He
does
hopes
happen.
it does.
The amount of
He
energy
hopes.
that I've spent towards
prays, he
it probably
dreams.
doesn't really equate and justify. Most people are going to look at me like, that's a lot of time and energy spent towards something that most likely is never going to happen, would be what, again, we call a black swan event.
But they happen.
But it does happen.
They do
But here's
happen.
my thing. It teaches us other concepts. It's like my martial arts. The chances of the amount of time I've spent on a mat or in a cage, for me to use that to justify to win a street fight would be a stupid waste of time. It'd be better just to go ahead and just like, okay, what are you going to lose? Go to the hospital? How much money here? Give them your wallet. You know, it's probably cheaper, you know, than all the amount of times of all the practice I've had. If that was the main reason, then there'd be a dumb return of investment. But it's because of what it's gathered me, my problem-solving skills, my control over myself, my control of the environment, all those things I attribute from the martial arts, and I'm testing them with these outside situations. So like someone breaking into my house, those situations, look, I'm teaching my kids how to cooperate, how to think through problem solving skills, so now when they're at work and someone says, hey, we have a problem, the copiers aren't working, the Wi-Fi's, why don't we go across the street to Starbucks, we'll use their Wi-Fi, we'll shoot off an email. That's how my kids have to think, because that's how we think.
Yeah.
I like ish situations, I like fires because I get to put them out. And as long as there's fires, I know I have
You like problem solving.
I like problem solving. That's what martial arts is.
Yeah.
So the chances of like us ever having to worry about this probably slim to none. But look what it's taught me and my kids what to do, how to solve problems, how to figure shit out. Like I like it when shit hits the fan. Like I'm actually in a good mood if I'm around people and the car breaks down. It's like, oh, cool, I got something to do now. You know what I mean? Like problem solving, especially if people don't know how to fix it.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. You're laughing, Jennifer.
Well, because Frank, I was telling him that he needed to be born like 500 years ago. Couldn't you see him be like a ruler? He would have been a good king.
Yeah.
Fair,
Well-
going to battle.
Hold on, she's saying
having a whole
See,
kingdom,
hey, now,
having a whole kingdom to be.
I just want the kingdom to be just of one. You.
Finn,
See, look.
the queen was not always.
He can't even be the king in your house.
I cannot be the king of my own kingdom.
You're the
let
king
alone,
in my house.
Yeah.
I'm just the queen.
There we
Oh,
go.
yeah, the queen does
The
rule.
king's the king
And
until the queen
I-
comes home.
The queen
yes,
rules, yeah.
yes, we have different roles at home.
So here's something interesting, and it actually brings it into sort of real life situations for other people. You can't turn on the TV now or watch TikTok videos without you're seeing like all protests and riots. But there's these situations where people are in their vehicle. Because I remember I was out the other day. I mentioned to Frank, I'm like, if you're in your car, and you get surrounded by a mob, right? Well, you may panic, but I'm like, man, you just gotta drive away. Even if you hit someone. But Frank said to me, he goes, but there's consequences to that action. And so what do you do in a situation like that? Because there's so many people that can be caught in that. That's not as much of a black swan scenario.
Not these days,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, it's still happening enough now that people are aware of it.
Yeah.
The chances of it happening to any of us, again, probably
Yeah.
never going to happen. But I've actually worked.
Well, we
that
don't put ourselves in that situation for the most part. Yeah.
for the most part. But then you have sometimes these, protesters that want to stop traffic, and
Yeah.
there's people there that didn't put themselves in that position either. They're going to a 9 to 5.
Right.
I've always said if I get my car surrounded, I'm just taking my foot off the brake. I'm not gonna gas it at you. I panicked. I'm sorry. I'm stressed out. You guys scared the shit out of me. I didn't gas it. You had plenty of time to get out of the way, but I'm taking my foot off the brake. It's a neutral. It's gonna roll. It's moving forward in first gear at about 3 miles an hour.
Okay.
If you can't avoid a 3 mile an hour car moving at you,
Okay.
so it's gonna move forward. It's several thousands of pounds. No one's stopping it by holding it off.
Sure.
Get out of the way. I'm sorry that you guys scared me, so I took my foot off the brake.
Well, that's kind of interesting because you're allowing life to exist. They could still.
Yes. I'm not being a dick and gassing and trying to run people over. So there's no real malintent on my part. It's that I want to get to safety. So I take my foot off the gas, off the brake to make sure the car can engage. It starts moving. And so I'm going to do a slow roll. If I can get away from you going 3 miles an hour. Now, if you bust the window open,
Yeah.
my foot's in the gas tank. Now now our little, our contract of trying to be civil to a point, I realize you're just trying to make a point, but you smash the window, that's showing intent and threat that you're trying to threaten
See
my
how
life.
he thinks this through?
I've been with him for 24 years. It's constant. And I always tell him and the kids, because especially like Bella comes home, Cage comes home, and they go through all this stuff. And it's like, I'm trying to imagine, like, can you imagine somebody coming into our house it's like walking into a lion's den. You're all dun dun dun, and then you're like,
Right.
oh shit, like, is this
Even if they have a weapon, because they don't know your house.
Everybody,
They don't know the layout of your
our
home.
kids are
Yeah.
weapons.
Your kids
They
are-
have weapons.
Right.
They all have weapons. There's
Right.
weapons everywhere. The grandkids have weapons now. So everybody has
That's
weapons.
funny. I used to be ridiculed on that. I probably have said this before in other ways. I make sure that one of the things, in fact, I think the other night you asked, because we were opening up boxes, she was opening up a box, she said, someone have a knife? And I was standing there next to my youngest.
Does someone have a knife?
I was
didn't have
actually
enough.
being serious. I should have just said, whoever has it pulls it out fast
All of a
enough.
sudden, my son was like, he's just wearing gym shorts. He's like, you don't have a knife on you, son?
Oh no.
No, it was like seriously like a moment. I'm like looking at him like, what do you mean you don't have a knife? What? And so he's like, sorry, Dad, I just got out of the shower. And so people tell me that, well, if your kid has a knife, your daughter, your wife, somebody that's of smaller stature, you still make them carry a blade. I'm like, well, absolutely. Like, why? I'm like, well, what do you mean? Well, the bad guy's going to just take the knife away from him. I'm like, all right. I hear what you're saying. It kind of sounds good because of the people who said it. You probably haven't thought this through. And I get it. I've thought this through. I've actually put it into play when I was younger. I'm going to hand whoever you think that you were so physically superior over, you're going to take this knife from her. Let's say at the time, my 12-year-old daughter. I'm going to give her a felt tip marker.
A Sharpie.
Sharpie,
Yeah.
I want you just to touch her on the head. If you can touch her on the head, we'll count that as like a knockout. She's going to cover her head, and she's going to start going after you with the marker. How much marker do you think you're getting on her? Getting on you. You're probably going to get a lot. Now that's like the best case scenario for you. You fight at distance. I want you to grab my daughter, pick her up, and put her in that car while she's holding this marker and show me how much ink you get on you. I don't want to hold somebody who has a blade.
Yeah.
That's a pretty shitty situation. It's like trying to pick up a porcupine. You know what I mean? That's one of the main reasons I carry blades is because I want my space to be my space. If I don't want you to be on top of me, and if there's 10 guys, I'm like, that's cool. I got a blade. 10 guys, go ahead and hold me down and see what happens. You're like, oh my God, do you feel lightheaded? Yeah, I'm bleeding out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to start poking, you know?
Out.
And so that's important. That's why, again, see there, I thought it through. And then I put it into play. Some people just repeat information they had. Well, they're just going to take the knife away from you. I'm like, you're repeating what somebody told you.
Yeah.
And I get that we can't always maybe go through all the information in the world, but every time, but go through it once on some of the important shit right there. So from day one, I've made all my kids, my wife, everybody carries a blade in a way that they can always get to it if someone grabs them, especially if someone were to grab them from behind and try to take them somewhere.
And your odds actually of at least having a blade is much better than not if you're going to be kidnapped.
And engage in it.
Yeah.
You know, yes, having it on you is easier, less. And also, I think that it's funny because it kind of goes both ways. I think that carrying a knife would be easier for a human to employ probably in a dramatic situation than carrying a gun because shooting somebody is so final. Like you're killing them, right? You pull a weapon, it's lethal force.
Sure.
I can cut you with a knife and it's not really lethal force at that point. And when I start putting the tip into you, we're talking now it's elevated to that mindset. But I didn't realize that until I started doing some expert witnessing for the police department here for choking cases. And the topic came up, and I was talking to the lawyers, and it was along the like, oh, it's way easier to defend somebody who stabs is in a shooting to defend their life. Stabbing somebody to defend your life is just really odd in the courtroom. I was like, really? They're like, yeah, think about it. The jury's looking over at you like, you stabbed this guy. It just right off the bat, it's just hard to articulate self-defense. It just comes off a little different of a mindset than it does to shoot somebody. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Why would that be? Why is that?
I know.
Well, I'm telling you right now, if I said, hey, I defended myself, if you look over and the defendant used a blade and she was grabbed and she stabbed the guy compared to she pulled a firearm and shot him, had a CCW, which one looks a little less? So the attorneys asked, you carry a knife for self-defense to stab people, or you carry a gun to shoot people to save yourself. For whatever reason, I think the average human looks at the knife to be a little bit more, odd, a little more like, were you looking for this? Or like,
Yeah. So
different mindset, I think, to stab somebody than to shoot somebody, which,
I just retook, I had to renew my CCW the other day. And so you have to sit through the class again, listen to other stories and watch the thing. And honestly, like, by the time you get through watching it, people on the outside that maybe don't, have a gun, carry a gun, either way, they look at it like they will sometimes look at a gun or like you thought about maybe with a knife, like, oh yeah, they just want to kill someone, they want to shoot someone. But after watching and sitting there again, and this is like the second time around with this course, the last thing you want to do is shoot someone.
Oh, it's so expensive.
You don't even want to get involved in a situation. You can ruin your life. But just by self-defense, right. If you say one wrong thing,
and you could do everything right. That's the sad part about our country is you can use a firearm in self-defense, be proven in the court of law that you did everything correctly. You crossed every T, dotted every I. You followed procedure. You were in fear of your life. You were you weren't looking for it. You did everything you could. You tried. This guy was a truly evil human being across from you that deserved what he got. There was only one answer for the problem, and still. You're going to lose thousands of dollars defending yourself and proving, and taking care of to make sure you don't end up in prison.
And then even if you don't end up in prison, you could have a civil lawsuit by the other family.
You will, obviously.
Yeah, you will. And now you're your life is ruined.
And you have to, again, spend money to defend yourself.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands of
Right.
dollars.
And hopefully you don't, you have stuff.
Yeah.
You might lose a percentage of it.
Yeah.
In a situation where you're not the bad guy at all.
Yeah.
That's so sad that you could be the good guy in every aspect. I'm like, not even slightly be called into question. And it's like, there's just no way that this is this difficult. It should be shut and closed. Hey, piece of shit asshole, you went still, okay, done.
And there's so many situations that you could end up in that you just don't even want to engage anymore. Like when you have a weapon, it's like, all right, I'm staying out of this. It's just not it's not my family. I'm not protecting anyone I love here. So it's unfortunate, but it's not really worth it.
Did you hear that? That's actually a lesson she still has a hard time with.
Oh, what's that, Jeff?
One time we were at the movie theater. We were leaving, and it was also in a casino. I'm not going to name it so it doesn't cause any problems. But
the initials are.
A fight broke out
MGM.
amongst a bunch of kids.
It's not the casino's fault.
And
Yeah.
there was two kids, a guy and a girl, looked like they were on the opposite end of about 20 of them, beating the shit out of them, right? And my wife's like, Frank, get over there, do something. I'm like, no, we need to fucking leave.
It was a young teenage girl. Like there was like 20 people on top of her, just beat. Like and I'm like just standing.
Well,
there.
and I evaluated.
Oh my
She was
God,
stuck in a corner,
Yeah.
and they couldn't get good leverage on her. So they were hitting her, yes. But I'm like, looking, I'm like, okay, because she's like under a slot machine, kind of like, I'm like, they can't get to her. Like there's too many of them, and they're going too rapidly, trying to like put boots to her. They're not really getting her. They're getting her feet and her arms, but her head or
His mind
spine.
She was
processes
screaming
this.
though.
Well,
yeah,
she's panicking, but look at this,
I
how
was
he's
panicking, and
processing
he's
this.
calm the whole time. He's
So-
like looking at it. He's like, Frank.
No, he's
Jenny.
analyzing
Oh
this.
yeah, the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, because it's like, is her life in danger?
Okay.
No, not even her face. She's gonna be okay.
But you were saying even if it was,
One of
I
those kids
understand-
pulls out a firearm and starts firing off bullets. But I got to make sure my wife and kids are out of there. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I look at that like, okay, hey, I'll protect other people,
Yeah.
but my wife and kids are first. I'm sorry, I'm selfish.
And
1,000 of you can die before I worry about them. You know,
Yeah.
I'm my kids first.
And you said too, which obviously when we left it made sense, but you said if I go over there and I help her or
Yes.
I do
Oh.
something, and then they're like, Frank Mir came in, now he's going to get in trouble. He'll get lawsuits. He's protected.
Because then I pointed this touch. That's actually when she started listening. I'm like, look to your left. And she looked over. There's probably about 6 or 7 people, all with their phones out, videotaping the situation. I'm like,
Yeah.
there's another reason why I'm not going over there.
Yeah.
But
Hey.
that is kind of sad though, because he couldn't even go help her because you have to worry about you're going to be filmed. Consequences. Yeah.
Well, here's another thing that's hilarious to me. It's what you just said about these cell phones. So as soon as you see a confrontation, someone takes out their cell phone. But if you think about it, like from a defensive standpoint, say I pull my Frank, say you're coming towards me and I take my phone out, it's a joke to you now. Because, I mean, if you wanted to. Like, first of all, one of my hands is tied up now. I'm probably not really watching you because I'm looking at my stupid phone. I got one arm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's actually, people have this false sense of security because they have a phone. I mean,
Yeah, they're hoping that your
like the
phone
phone's
with a doctrine of well, now you're on camera, you're not going to lose your mind. I'm like, you're taking a risk. You better hope that person has some sanity, that they see a phone and that scares them.
yeah.
It scares me to be on video, doing anything I shouldn't be doing.
Sure.
But there's a lot of people out there
That
that doesn't
don't
scare,
care.
don't give a shit.
And if you're not streaming, someone will grab your phone. And that'll be, you know what I mean? They'll just take your phone and then who knows what could happen.
Right, yeah, 'cause it
but
wasn't-
these people, they walk around. I'm watching these videos all the time where these people just hold up the phone. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. And people do snap. I mean, you antagonize the wrong person.
Right.
And people do snap. But I mean, the
Yeah,
phone.
especially somebody you don't know what kind of week they've had, what kind of month they've had, what kind of year they've had. You're like, hey, that guy you just fucked her with,
Yeah.
his wife left him, his house is in foreclosure.
Oh, yeah, he
he
feels
just
he
had
has
his
nothing
car
left.
towed. You fucked with the wrong guy at the wrong day. You know what I
We
mean?
talk about that with road rage.
Yeah.
Like I don't road rage. I don't. Like you can get frustrated when you're
Yeah.
driving, but I'm
What happens
I don't
in
know. I
Vegas all
just
the
don't
time
want
now?
the altercation.
It's happening here all the time. Guys are road raging. That one guy, I think there's about a year now. It was sad. We talked-
No. I can
Well,
look
I'm
it
like-
up. There's something that just happened
I'm
where
sure.
in Henderson, the mom was driving her kid to school, and the guy road rage and shot and killed her.
Oh, well, the one I was speaking of
Child,
just
I have to
happened
look that
a
up.
little bit longer ago. That was the case that brought up
that one
that
up.
a husband and a wife were in a car against another guy, and there was road raging.
Yeah.
The guy fired the weapon, possibly to hit the husband, I guess, shot at him, but shot his wife in the head. I'm like, at the end of the day, for what? Like, really? Because he wouldn't let you in?
Oh, wow.
Didn't zip her properly? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, so that's why what she's saying,
Right.
yeah, there's consequences out here. So, like, people don't know. It's like, is it really worth it to lay on your horn, slam? Like, you don't know who you get at the wrong day at
Yeah.
the wrong time.
Well, and then this lady, it cost. I
son,
think it's
yeah.
her daughter. I think it was her. I'm looking it up right now.
Well, her
I think
child,
It was her.
yeah.
It was her child. Like they're just driving to school.
So sad, though. I think, and right now it seems like, the human mind is so fragile, too, because you could have, from moment to moment, I mean, you could have a hormonal imbalance or something basic.
Well, you have good people also, so you have to equate that you do have the bad people out there.
Yeah.
You got to equate the good people that just have bad days.
Yeah.
January 12th. 22-year-old killed 11-year-old. The 22-year-old man accused of a deadly road rage shooting that killed an 11-year-old boy will not face the death penalty, according to Las Vegas District Court officials. He went to jail November 14th. And he's 22 years old. I mean,
he's lost his life too. His life is screwed.
They don't have their son anymore. He was being driven to school by his stepfather and shot and killed. It's just crazy.
I feel
it's not
like
that serious.
No, and Frank, you brought up a good point before. Well, we were talking about, or you were talking about, but Cain Velasquez, how he, he actually went after someone that allegedly was a pedophile with his child. Yeah, but the problem Frank said though, and then he got sentenced. He went to jail, but Frank's point was, I could see him not getting sentenced for that instant, that your mind just lose your mind when you find out someone molested your child.
Crime of passion.
Crime of passion. But what Frank said was, he goes, but you can't go firing a weapon in public because now you have the risk of other people that are that could get hit.
Shooting, driving a vehicle and firing rounds into another vehicle. I understand why and again, he was in the mindset, he was upset.
Sure.
I understand where his mind is.
Absolutely.
But I get where the people around him be like, hey, you were firing rounds. You might have hit somebody's kid, somebody's wife, definitely an innocent person here could have died from your actions. So there is going to be a punishment that comes with it. I get it.
And he didn't hit the guy. He didn't hit the guy, so clearly he could have hit someone. Anyway,
I think he actually hit the guy's stepfather.
Oh,
if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I know.
It's so sad though, because, and you're right. There's a good person generally, You're right. You could have bad people, but you could also have a good person that just is having a bad day, and just anyone could snap at any time. That's why I think our society too, this social media is making it worse. I think
it's making it worse.
Yeah, because people are watching things that are stimulating negative thoughts. Like you're watching all these people, for example. This is just a weird thing. All of a sudden, you're seeing now everybody's like resisting arrest. Like you'll have someone, no one complies. Well, not everyone, but the ones online. I'm not saying obviously.
We're seeing a small percentage of people that are idiots.
Probably a small percentage.
A small percentage of idiots.
But it's so funny. You'll be watching this and you'll be like,
I know.
Like I get it, and I get it with certain communities why they don't comply. I mean, I get it from just their upbringing, things. There could be valid reasons, but we're watching people that were normally just regular, just dumb people, I guess. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
Choose to be like what do they call them? Free citizens or non-citizens?
Yeah.
The free. I'm like, oh fuck, one of these guys again.
Yeah. What do they call it? They call it. They're right. They're. I forgot what they call it exactly, but right. It is a free citizen, but it's like, But Frank, you brought up something that was crazy, and I didn't really think about it. But you've got 4 cops trying to get a girl's arm behind her back, and they can't even manage it. It's like, how does this girl not get her arm behind her back? Like, you have to learn some sort of something, right, in order to
I've always said that. I felt that our police department, whenever I talk to guys that don't train on a regular basis and they're a police officer, I'm like, that's crazy to me. Wait a minute. You're choosing a job that you know that you're going to most likely in your shift probably have, more often than not, a physical confrontation. Yeah. Where you have to put hands on somebody. And then because you were not able to control the problem there, nullify it right then and there, it's over with. It escalates to higher and higher levels of threat and then ends up being a shooting. Yeah. I remember I saw the one, and this was several years back, where the 2 officers, they couldn't hold down this guy who was just in line. I think this was in Georgia. He was in line at the fast food place, passed out in a drive-thru. So how you have a guy who's so fucked up that he passed out. They're knocking on his window to wake him up. He wakes up. He has no weapon on him, but now he resists arrest. Right. You have these 2 guys on the ground that look like they're holding the bar of soap. They 2 guys that were sober and ready to go, couldn't hold on a guy that was just 2 minutes ago was asleep from being so fucked up.
That probably has no skill sets in fighting.
He didn't show any. Right. He just resisted, got up to his feet, was able to get a stun gun away from one of the officers, and eventually, took off, and there was a shooting. I was like, well, if he would have been put down to begin with, I'm not he's stupid for what he did.
Sure.
But as an officer, they should have the capabilities to, once they put hands on somebody, and I think more now are starting to follow that trend. But you got guys that I hate it when I see a police officer who has a waist that's like 10 times bigger around than his neck. And, you know, it's like, you're going to get out of breath getting out of the car. You're supposed to fight people. Oh, my God, people are going to die. You have a gun. You know what I mean? Like no.
And then, like, it's so weird, though, because it looks like something that'd be... You'll see someone fighting it. I'm talking even like I'll see a girl, not like a girl, a female, I should say, but an adult female, and they're resisting, and they clasp their hands in front of them, like, you know, where they're on the ground, but you can't get their hands out because they're clasping it. And that's not like a skill. They just naturally know, I'm not going to let go. And they can't get that arm out. And that's where the problem happens. They think they have a weapon, you know, or they assume I don't know, the cops say they do or something, but you can't even get their arm out. Isn't that kind of weird? Like,
well, and there's actually technique to it. There's certain ways that people hold their arms.
But they should learn the technique.
They should learn the technique. That's what I'm saying, though. It's not because the girls hold their hands together. That's not the solution. That's not just the end all. It's like, well, we're done. We'll just go home here, you know? Or let's escalate this to the point where you end up killing somebody.
Yeah.
There's a way to get your arms out as far as the way the shoulder moves, the way the shoulder pulls. You know, not even counting and using pain compliance. There's structures that you can pull on. And the techniques are there. I mean, and some departments do show it.
Yeah.
But the one thing that they don't do, and it's sad, is that there's no continuation of training. Most of the training most of these guys get are from the academy, and it's done. And they don't take the onus upon themselves to train them. And not all of them. There's guys I've trained with that are, you know, they're Metro officers or purple belts.
Sure.
Hell, one of my guys, Chad Line, is a black belt coach,
you
know, at Rannigan Tours, you know. So some do, but there's no oversight upon us to force them to go ahead and do training. And I can't believe that they need that. It's like, you know, it's like being a firefighter, being out of shape, and you can't carry a hose up the stairs. I'm like, hey, you realize what you signed up for, right? Like, I mean, I get it. You know, if you're a computer engineer and you're like, well, I can't carry a hose up 3 flights of stairs. I'm like, well, no shit. You have an elevator. You're good. You want to sit at a desk for 8 hours. This guy chose to be a police officer, chose to be a firefighter. You're choosing fields that it's like, well, shit, that's part of the job, buddy. Like, did you not think that was going to happen? Like, you know, as a police officer, you don't think you're going to get into a fist fight with somebody?
I don't know why we can't just have tougher punishment for the people that are resisting.
don't comply. Yeah,
I don't
tough
get
punishments
that.
there. We just don't employ them.
I know.
That's the problem. I mean, people say that we need tougher laws. I'm like, the laws are on the books.
Yeah.
We just don't. You know, you see the guy out there.
Enforce them,
The law, you know, assault and battery. Okay, he's released. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
There's no. We're not going to enforce those charges. Well, we're overridden by crime. We have too many guys already. We have other first to five. That's not big enough.
We don't have room. Yeah.
We have room.
But then you see it. That's what I'm saying on social media. You'll keep seeing these things, and other people respond. You know, it becomes a social
They get
contagion.
brave.
Yeah. Well,
Other people see that.
Other
and then
people see it, right?
It feeds people.
And people are posting these videos because they know it gets views. I had a lady. She actually. It was a few months back. I'm pulling out into traffic, and I had to make a turn. Everyone was stopped, and then it was I had the right of way, so I go to move. And then her car hits the side of my car. And I'm like, oh, great, you know, and it pretty good. And then I'm like, this is great. So I had to pull in the parking lot to turn around. She took off. Yeah, she takes off. And I'm like, oh, fuck. You know, I'm like, shit. So I caught up with her, of course, because I could see where she's going. I caught up, and then... and it was raining too that day, so it really sucked. So it was raining, and so then she kind of gets out of the car and she's acting crazy, but it wasn't the driver. The driver was her daughter. She's a 15-year-old driver. She had a permit. But the lady, the mom, gets out, and she comes screaming at my car and pounding on the side of the car like a psycho. So I did take my phone out because I'm in the car.
Did you get her license plate?
Oh, yeah. Well, they stopped. Yeah,
so she's trying to put you on your heels because she's in the wrong defending her.
Yeah. So I'm videoing this, and she's going nuts, and she's screaming.
What's she saying?
She's yelling, you hit me. And there was no way I hit her. You could tell because you could see where the car was.
Yeah,
they were stopped. You know, it was like, you know. And so then I get out of the car, And I'm like, calm down, psycho. Anyway, so I'm like, she goes, show me where I hit you. And she's like screaming at I go, right here. And now the car was white and the mark on the car was black because the paint comes off, obviously. She goes, see, that's not my car. Because it's a black mark. No, you took the paint off, you dummy. You know, that's why and she's screaming. And
so why'd you run if I hit you?
Exactly. Right. And I go, you tried to hit and run me. Exactly. So I'm yelling, she hit and run me. So I call the police. She goes, call the police. And I go, okay, well, stay right there. Don't try and take off again. I already got you, you know? So her daughter's still in the seat. So then the cops took forever to get there. And because it wasn't an emergency, so they didn't really care.
A lot of times they won't show up at all.
Well, they didn't. The cop that showed up there's Las Vegas and Henderson, and a Henderson cop showed up, and he goes, oh, I can't handle it, I'm Las Vegas. And Las Vegas cop never showed up. But what happened was she called her husband. So now her husband pulls up, and he gets out of the car, and he's like coming towards me like there's going to be a problem. And I go, dude, I would chill out right now if I were you. Take it down a notch, you know? Mm-hmm. And so he did, but he goes, what happened? I go, she hit me, and she's denying she hit me. I go, she's crazy. I go, your wife's crazy. And he goes,
he's all I'm married to.
And he's like, don't talk about me. And I'm like, I'm telling you, she's crazy. So I went back in the car, and I go, I'll wait for the police. She goes off and starts punching my car in front of him. And now I go,
stop it.
I go, there you go. There you go. So now the guy sees it. He grabs her by the neck and pulls her back and puts her in the car. And he goes, sit there in the car. And I'm like, I go, you know she's crazy. You knew it before this incident happened, you know?
This ain't news to you, buddy. You had a kid with her.
Yeah, I go, don't act like this is new.
Oh, my God.
So then we're talking.
This is so funny.
And he's like, well, what? He goes, well, what can I do? And then he calmed down. He was actually a really nice guy. I could imagine what he was doing.
Yeah, imagine what he's going home to at night.
Exactly. So I said to him, exactly.
Did you give him tickets to your show?
No, I don't.
His life is way worse than ours.
I didn't want him finding me because I have all this on video. And I'm like, this is going to be great, you know, but I never posted it.
You've been on a show opening, buddy.
No, but what ended up happening was, you know what happened? He told me, he goes, my wife, and I go, so that's your daughter driving? And he goes like, yeah. And I go, listen, forget the police. I'll handle it on my own because I don't want your mom, your wife is nuts, but I don't want her mom to be the reason she loses her license.
Yeah.
Because she'll get charged for the hit and run. Mm-hmm. And I go, and she just got a permit. I go, but you might be the one that you might want to talk to your daughter and tell her this is not normal. And this, I just felt bad for the daughter. It's not the daughter's fault, you know? And I'm thinking, so I let him go. I'm like, you know what? Even if it costs me, it'll cost me $1,000, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you know, but at the same time, I'm thinking I got the video anyway, so it's funny to post. But I never posted it because I'm like, I didn't want to embarrass the family, you know, because I didn't want the daughter on there and whatever. But it was crazy though, and I bring that up because of social media. But they post so much stuff, you know. People they're out of control sometimes.
You saw the video on your phone, right?
Oh yeah, I'll show you.
I have to see it. I know. I want to see it.
I want to see her going nuts.
She was crazy. She's like screaming. It was so funny.
Was she Latin by chance?
Filipino, but they're so sweet. I don't understand why that came out. They're so nice.
He's all were they half Latin and half Austrian by any chance?
Frank's got a profile. But sovereign citizen, that's what they're saying.
Sovereign citizen, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And our friend, Jimmy Rivera, former UFC fighter, he actually is a cop right now in Jersey. So but he knows training, obviously. I think he was training the force for compliance and things like that. But
have you ever seen those sovereign citizen guys? I mean,
yeah,
I don't want to go down that hole, but just because you said UFC fighter, police officer, we had Herman. Dave Herman was a sovereign citizen, and I watched him in a situation. I'm like, oh God! And I trained with him. I liked him, and I saw that. I was like,
you know what the problem is? It's funny. I looked that up because I'm like, with the cops when they tell you, you know, when they pull you over, and these sovereign citizens are like, I'm just traveling through here. I don't need to provide my license. I don't have to show you any paperwork. I'm a traveler, that kind of thing. But
have you ever seen one video? I want them to show me a video of it work. Yes.
Well, it won't work.
There's a thing of it. People are attempting it. No, it never works out. No, most of the time you end up getting your ass kicked.
I thought you have to show your driver's license.
Yes.
Or proof of ID.
Well, they make it like they don't have to prove anything. But I went and looked up the law, and that's already been nullified, what they're talking about. It's an old thing people tried years ago, and the laws have changed. It's already been debunks, or we'll call it. But these people are following these, even, it's funny because even if, sure, you don't have to show the police your license if they pulled you over for no reason, if like a fishing expedition type thing, but you're not going to help the case either way. So you may as well just show it and move on.
Yeah, look, the way I look at it is that it's a balance. If it's of no inconvenience to me to be cooperative in a situation where I have no guilt, I don't think that I'll be cooperative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the minute it's like, but you're taking time away from me. I've done nothing. You're looking for shit. No, I'm not staying. No, I'm walking off. I'm not.
That's the part I told you about earlier. See what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, because to me, it's
what would be a situation like where you would just be no.
Well,
Well,
like
he would
there's
do
been
it.
situations where we've had one time where I was doing nothing and hey, could you step out here? We want to talk to you. Like, no, I'm not involved in this. You don't fucking talk to me. I have nothing to give you. Like, sorry. I've done nothing wrong. So like, no.
Because all of a sudden you could be like, they'll point to like you.
Yeah.
Oh, look who's involved.
Right. Now all of a sudden, now I am associated with the situation.
Right.
Now I'm more involved or something.
Right.
Or maybe I am doing something, but you haven't figured it out yet. And I don't want to be, and this isn't it, but this could lead down a path I don't want to lead down because I do have something to hide. I don't know. But
No, it's if you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you. But if you're not nice to me, I'm going to be
Difficult.
more not nice.
Yeah.
And he will be difficult. He's the king of difficult.
No, I'm the king of petty.
Him and Bella. I just found this out. Okay, so this is
King
so
of
funny.
petty.
I'm the
He's
pettiest human
so
being
petty.
you've
It's
ever
like,
met.
Like he's so petty that there's times like I look at him and I'm like,
I'm learning
you
to be less
understand-
petty. I'm learning to be less
You
petty.
understand that you're like 46 years old, right? You are the most petty, but you know who is just as petty as him? Not just. He still is the
She's
king.
learning. She's my Padawan.
Bella. It's the one thing about, I'm like, Bella, I don't like that you're petty. Don't take that from your dad. That's not like good. You know how like mom goes 0 to 60 and goes crazy? Don't take that from me. Don't take the petty from dad. He's so petty. When he gets that way, I
But do you think that helps
I just
as
shut
far
it
as
down.
competition
It helps
goes,
nothing.
though? You don't
What
think
does
it helps
help?
anything?
I mean, I think
Because Bella's such a
okay.
good competitor.
I study game
It
theory and
helps.
I understand human biology, evolution. I know where it comes from for being petty because there's an altruistic ability that as cavemen, when we were together in evolution biology, evolutionary psychology, that there's a part of us that wants things to be right. So like a guy who takes too much food or does things wrong to the tribe could cause us all to die. So there's a part of us that want fair in our mind for people to act right. If you don't act right, I'm going to make you pay for it. That's, so that's why gamer theory, if you ever study it, some of it works out that way.
So it's for survival, according to what
It
you're
comes
saying.
from an aspect of my mind that it's
I'm
not
just saying
so much,
that's what he's saying, Jen.
Yeah, it came from there, it started there. Now, obviously, because there is no aspect of me dying over it, she sees just the petty aspect of it. It's
Okay.
like, it's a layover caveman aspect of my brain that I indulge because it's fun.
No, yeah, I
Because
was going to
it's
say
fun.
he does it because he likes it.
Because
I
you know
said
you're,
that. I just said it was
He
fun.
likes it.
because you
fun.
know you're doing it when you're doing
Oh,
it.
absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. He knows
That's the
he's
level.
doing
That's the
it.
one curse of being intelligent, is that everybody like I'm accountable for all my actions. I learned that the hard way. I learned that with the UFC when I said that when I got in trouble and got released from WC and then almost fired from the UFC because I said during an interview that, and I laughed during it. I said, I hope that Brock becomes the first octagon related death. That's all I said, and I said it as a joke.
No,
I was laughing as I said it.
No, but because go back though, because they asked you
No.
what frame of mind do you
Right.
have to get in, like to fight someone like Brock, like where does your mind have to be? And you said, I have to look at him across the cage and think and say to myself,
the
like,
death.
I want him to be like the first octagon related death.
So instead of me just saying to the death, I want to kill him, like what most athletes say,
Yeah.
I said in a much more colorful way, he could be the first octagon related death. I was being clever. I was laughing as I said it.
Because so many fighters have said,
I
I'm
got in
gonna-
so much
I'm gonna
trouble.
kill him, I'm
At
gonna
the
fight
end of the fucking day, I was told by the powers that be that the reason why I was in trouble and they had BJ Penn there saying, George, this is to the death.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill you.
I'm gonna kill you.
yeah.
You guys edited it and put it on there, and I'm in trouble for saying it?
Yeah, and with BJ Penn, it was like, I'm gonna drink your blood.
Yeah, it was like horrific,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, but they said
And I got in trouble
because they said
because
when you talk,
when you say it, people think
People
you're telling.
believe it.
They believe it. Like you're. So again, I was like, oh, because I'm intelligent, I'm not a dumb shit.
It's your fault. If you were stupid,
I must
it'd be
mean
okay.
it.
Yeah.
Right. If I was dumb, I'd be okay.
Yeah.
So that's why I've realized that because I'm intelligent, everything I do, I'm meant to do. I'm like, sometimes I just fuck up, guys. It's okay. We all, I mean, I know, like sometimes it's just negligent, not nefarious.
So, about Brock Lesnar.
Oh my God, what about
No,
it?
that was great though. But so you beat him the first time. He won the second fight. But you said you wanted a third fight, but he doesn't want one or something?
Yeah, just
It never worked out, right? Because he got the diverticulitis. And
that
then,
happened up. And then,
I
you
don't
know,
know.
Lorenzo came to me one time and said, he goes, he thinks you're nuts, right? You know that, right? I'm like, what? And I guess it's because he's not used to anybody standing up to him and being like, you want to go again? You know? That threw him a loop.
It was 1-1. Why would you not want to go again? It's not like it was 2-0.
Frank is
you know the
nuts.
reason why most people are so impressed by that? Because
Why?
they would never step in there.
To fight. Oh, yeah. I mean,
If they saw Brock, like, hey, you want to step in there? They're like, fuck no. And I'm like, please, more than once, let's go.
But here's what I was impressed about. You could watch fights, and you could see when a guy takes a way out. Like if they get choked out, you know, they get tired. Fighters do get tired. They get exhausted. And exhaustion will kill you, you know. And so then they turn to their, you know, turn their back towards, you know, get choked out.
Yeah, we
That's
say
the
it's
way.
tapping without tapping.
Tapping without tapping, right. Frank, you had a lot of excuses to get out if you wanted to. I mean, his hands are like lunch boxes, and he's clocking you. You just kept thinking that first fight. You just kept moving, and you saw what you were trying to go for. You
And even
looked
the
for
second
anything.
fight, the whole first round, I took a bad beating.
Yeah.
He trapped me in a great move, arm behind the tricep. I mean, he beat the shit out of me
Yeah.
for about 4 minutes. When we get up in the first round, going to the second round, my words to him are like, fuck you, asshole. Round 2. You know what I mean? Like, all right, that's the first one. I'm coming back for another one. You know what I mean? Like,
So what separates you from someone else? Is it just, I think he is a little crazy, right? He's got to have, but is it
I
that
think
need
we've
for the
established that.
competition? Because even during competition, like you could feel the hurts. I mean, I know you said maybe the pain won't be there, but you're getting hit.
right.
And not hit by a small, he's as big as you. So what's the difference why you would keep going? You got to be a little, is it the competitive edge or you're just a little
it was
nuts?
actually learned behavior because I think I was much more of a pussy when I was younger.
Okay.
I could show fights where I was a quitter and I was looking for ways out. As I got older, I learned not to be. If you see, like even in the Pulev fight where I had only one arm in a boxing match, I chose not to take a dive, put a knee down, and almost got killed doing it.
You fought with one arm.
Fought with one arm. And then, you know, that fight, I could point at fights where then, like, it's like, well, the way I look at it, it's I'm either going to win or I'm going to die. And if I die, it's not my problem.
But that's
No
what I'm
more
saying.
pain.
You will go.
It's like being put to sleep.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, think about it. For surgery, when you go into surgery, it doesn't hurt no more. So if I fight to the point where it kills me, it doesn't hurt. Death is release.
See, Jennifer, he was going to murder Brock Lesnar. Because it's either him or Brock.
That's just so-
you were removed because, no, but you do have that instinct in you. Like, well, I know the competition, your drive is so much there, but also, I'm just saying, it's funny how you can you could still have a thinking man's mind during even moments like that. Like you're just still methodical is what I'm saying.
Oh, he's the most thinking during that time.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you were saying how he's getting hit. So like, obviously you're feeling it, but I already know because we've talked about it, and then watching it, when I was watching it, I already know he was sitting there where he's getting punched on his head. And then you see him stand up and then he goes like this. In his mind, he's thinking, oh wait, I'm bleeding now.
Oh, when he
like
got hit in the back of his head, right.
Yeah. So he's thinking, you know, oh wait, now I'm bleeding. Okay, wait, now this is setting me back. Like the whole time he's thinking clearly the entire time, which to me, I think is unbelievable. Because can you imagine? I mean, to me, like I one time cornered him and I was like, if you love me, you'll never ask me to do that again. It was horrible. But I mean, I remember like walking behind him and you're walking into the arena, just walking into the arena, right? And you have everyone trying to grab you and it's 18,000 people and they're screaming and just that part alone. And then you're walking towards the cage and you're going you're going to be locked in a cage, can't get out with somebody that wants to harm you. I mean, it's like to have all that and then to go in there and still be clear-minded and thinking like the whole time. I mean, that's just him. He's that way. I'm so happy that she's just like that.
Yeah.
She stays calm. She doesn't get, she's thinking the whole time. She's literally listening. Frank, he goes, when I'm coaching Bella, when he's in her corner, it's like a joystick. Everything he's telling her to do, she's just doing it. So she's, no matter what's happening
She's got
to
a
her,
trained ear.
she's
Yeah.
listening. Yeah, she's listening. Okay, I got to do this. I got to do that. Like the whole time. I find that so impressive.
To finish off, we leave on this note tonight. To put more, I guess, detail into what I'm saying about that, as far as like when you show up to a situation, you can keep thinking about how to solve the problem, no matter how bad it gets, or you're going to be destroyed by it, right? So, like, my idea is, like, if you're working on a bomb, I'm going to keep working on it and figure it out until it's not my problem anymore, right? I'm going to die. Because what I am afraid of, what scares the shit out of me, is to look for a way out, be a coward, and walk away in front of everybody. And my kids see that. I see that. That's a fate worse than death. That keeps me up at night. And I think that keeps up most people at night. So I would rather keep trying to solve the problem or die out there fighting for it than ever back away from it and look like a coward. Because that scares me. That's what I'm terrified of. There's my fear. That's what drives me.
Yeah. That's cool. Are you afraid, Jennifer? No.
No, I'm not afraid. It's just a lot.
Sometimes you should be. Shit.
It's just a lot sometimes. It's like, oh my gosh, like I just want him to take a rest for a second.
You guys like how the dynamics is going so far?
Yeah. It's
Keep
great.
this going?
Yeah,
Sure.
It's awesome.
I think it's funny that people think, if you didn't know Frank, or a lot of fighters too, they think they're just out there looking for trouble, and because a lot of people would think, oh, they could kill anyone. So
People say that all the time.
So why? But it's actually the opposite for you. I don't know if it's because
For
of
a lot of them.
consequence or not. But
I mean, most of the fighters.
Because it's true. I think a lot of people do that. They're doing it because they're insecure. They want to try to prove something. I get to go to the gym and prove it. I know what I'm going to do against other guys.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, we still have levels of insecurity, but that guy who just wants to fight for the sake of fighting, looking for problem to prove to everybody, it's like, well, we're not even the same. I'm doing it because I like to solve problems and prove to myself.
Yeah.
You're trying to prove to the tribe. We're different. So
the reason I first even watched MMA, because I've been watching MMA
it's
since
220. That's what I remember.
Okay. Okay.
We have an hour of recording and it's time. We can edit out the part where I'm saying
Okay,
straight.
cool.
That's why I was like, hey, do you guys like the dynamic? I could see that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I saw the hour too, so we'll give you a way to close out.
Yeah.
I think my thing cut out, but just to follow up real quick, it's interesting because I first got into MMA watching it. Yeah, it was when the first UFC came out, but I watched it. It wasn't so much for the fighting. I wanted to see the mind frame because I'm a performer, so I know what it's like for me to take my skill sets and then go on stage. People are always like, "Are you nervous?" I'm like, "No, I'm very focused, so I don't get nervous." But that's because my fear is not doing well, so I put all my time into the rehearsing. You know, you can't think about it on stage. You just got to rehearse, practice. So I always watch. I said, "How are these guys going to go out there on a stage?" You know, some of these people aren't performers, you know, and they would get adrenaline dumps on that walk that you were talking about, on the walk up to the cage. They'd have adrenaline dump.
The UFC's done it to many guys. That's why I want Bella to have so much shows before.
Yeah, that's exactly why with Bella, he started having Bella be in his corner. People were like, why are you having your 16-year-old daughter be in your corner? But he wanted to desensitize her. So she was in his corner for the last 4 of his fights. He's like, I want you, even though she's not, but she gets the experience walking to the cage, walking in front of all the fans, screaming, being on the side of the cage. So that's why he was doing that. It was part of her desensitizing, part of her training.
By manipulation.
Yes. It worked though, because she does so well. She does so well walking into that cage because
She smiles.
She does, yeah. She's like you.
She's generally happy.
She's so chill. Yep. She's so happy that she's getting ready to go whoop some ass.
It's funny though, because a lot of people would think that she just has that because of good genes or whatever. But it's the mind frame you've instilled in her, and then all this. I don't think people realize how much she practices, how much she's training. I mean, it's constant, and her diet.
They don't. They think it's so weird. People are like, she's Frank's daughter.
Yeah,
so
of course
she just wakes up in the morning and she just
has muscles.
Yes, she has muscles.
Is that song? I woke up like this.
Yeah, I woke up like this. Yeah. It's so crazy. It's like, no, like, I mean, she has his athletic ability, but she's a product of her environment. Like she flourished in the environment that we raised her in, and she just went with it. And she's the hardest working person. And it's not me. Ask anybody that knows Bella, professional athlete, fighter, anybody that knows her, they'll tell you she is the hardest working person that I know.
But your other kids are also very
of course, all
skilled as well. I mean, it's not like it's
hard
just
workers.
But they're hard.
kid.
They have the work ethic,
Yeah.
though. They have more work ethic. That's why.
It's funny. We go on vacation and we'll go to the gym, and this has happened more than once. Our friends will be like, "Well, Jennifer does her own workout, I do mine." Sometimes we will cross, but there's times she has her own way of working out, and they want to go train with her, and I'm like, guys, you don't want to go lift with my wife. It's like, why? I'm like, well, because I'm going to go there and I'm going to lift, and you can talk between sets and hang out, and we're going to bullshit, like my weight training is fun, you know what I mean? Her weight training, like, okay, once it starts, you don't talk the fucking 45 minutes to an hour. I'm like, they're doing like
Pilates.
HIIT training.
I'm
HIIT training?
lifting.
Yeah,
lifting. My cardio's like,
her rest in between is like
training.
jump squats.
Yeah, like
I'm
in
like,
between
that's your rest?
In between my lifting, I'm doing like, burpees and like,
That's not even fun.
No.
Yeah.
But I warn people, I'm like, you think that you don't want to lift with me, you don't want to lift with her.
I do. Bella says that all the time. That makes me happy when they say that. Because, everyone's always like, oh, they're just like their dad. They're just like their dad.
Yeah, and you're like, I'm a badass too.
Of course they're like their dad, right? But I'm like, but they're like their mom too.
Yeah.
They definitely have my drive.
Well, it takes
my
a
work
combination.
ethic.
You're not going to be just one-sided. It's not like, it's got to be a balance, I think,
Yeah.
So,
It's the best.
well, cool, guys.
Yeah. It was fun.
Fun, right?
All right, well,
Let's do this again next week.
I'm into it. I like it. Hopefully we get good responses from it. You enjoy yourself?
Yeah, it's fun.
All right.
Oh, did we say goodbye? Did we do anything?
No, this is it. We'll close out. All right. Next time. Right?
Till next time.
Till next time.
We're good.